Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nick. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. If you love drawing letters like me, subscribe to my channel for more lettering tutorials like this. For today's video, we are going to create this beveled letter C in script. We will use the bevel letters, Procreate brushes, and stamps. If you try the first two letters, the letter C is definitely easier and simpler to create. So follow along and create with me. Let's go. Step number 1, we are going to draw our letter using one of the inline brushes of my Bevel Procreate pack. Let's select the Bevel Tools brush pack, and we're going to be using Brush Inline Light. Select the color black, and then let's start drawing our letter C. Step number 2, we're going to extract the inline and letter form. To do this, we are going to duplicate this layer twice and hide the other layers. We're going to use selection on automatic, and then we're going to select everything except for the inline. And we're going to erase 3-finger circular motion. Easy. Next, we're going to extract the letter form. To do this, we're also going to use selection on automatic. We're going to select the outside of the letter. So everything outside, then we're going to slide our pen to get 0 threshold. And then we're going to select invert and color fill. Oops. Let me do that again. Invert and color fill. Perfect. Now let's bring back our inline and let's invert this so that we could see it. Okay. Going back to the letter base, let us now fix this a little bit. Okay. Using the pen tool, okay. So this part here needs to be a bit thicker. So let's go ahead and clean that up. Now let's fix the ends. So I want to try making this pointed. So using the eraser, we're going to fix it. Step number 3 is we're going to add a 3D effect and a cast shadow. Let's reduce our size first. So I'm going to select these 2 layers and make it a bit smaller. Okay. So to create a 3D effect, let us duplicate our base layer. And then we're going to use motion blur to the lower right at about 45 degrees. And then when we're done, we want to fill this shadow or this shade completely. So we're going to use selection, automatic. We're going to select everything on the outside and 0% threshold. And then we're going to invert color fill. There. We now have our 3D effect. Let's just lighten it using hue and brightness. So let's bring the brightness up so that we can differentiate the 2 layers. Now, let us move this to the right position. I think this is... I think this looks good. So next is we're going to add a cast shadow. We're going to duplicate our base layer again, move it to the bottom layer, and then we're going to do the same thing. Motion blur, but this time to the lower left at about 45 degrees as well. When we're done, okay, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to color everything on the outside like this. invert, and color fill is already on. Let's reduce the opacity, okay, like that. Okay. And then let's move this down. It's gonna get cut, but it's okay. All right. Step number 4 is we're going to add the bevel guides. So we're gonna add a new layer on top, and then let's switch to a different color like yellow with pen turned on. So we're gonna cut where we're going to split the 2 different colors. So here and here, here and here as well, here and here. Okay, so this line is gonna split the color for the bevels facing up and the bevels facing left. So yeah, we're gonna add those when we're done. Let's just lower the opacity so that it's not too strong, but still visible for us to use as guides later when we're going to color our bevels. Step number 5. So since the inline splits the letter into 2 sides, this inline splits one on the left, one on the right. Okay. To make coloring and blending the bevels easier, we're going to separate the sides in different layers. So here's how you do it. We're going to duplicate the inline. Let's hide the original one and select the duplicate. Next is using the pen, we are going to connect the 2 ends together. And then we're gonna color either the outside or the inside there. And then we're going to completely fill this because right now it still has a white line. So let's just turn on alpha lock and fill layer. Okay. Next is, while that layer is highlighted, we're gonna clean everything. We're gonna clean all of the excess. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use 2 fingers to hold down the base layer, this, remove color fill, make sure it is off, invert, and then clear. So now we have this super clean letter C second layer. Next step, step number 6, is to start drawing the beveled ends. But for this particular letter, we made our ends pointed so we don't have that part, so we can skip this step. Now to step number 7, we're going to color the bevel faces. So before we start coloring, let's of course pick a color first. Let me choose maybe red, and then on a new layer, let's open up a new layer. This is a new layer. No, open up a new layer, and then using the 4 color shade sample, let's tap anywhere on the screen, then let's move it to the side for reference. So this is now our cheat sheet for the colors. So by just picking one color and just tapping with this special brush, you get the 4 different shades immediately of your bevel. So you don't have to pick one color manually. So yeah, that's just a shortcut if you use this brush set. So now let's start coloring. We can color the black layer first or the yellow layer first, it's up to you. Let's do the black first. Make sure they're on alpha lock. I'm gonna put the second layer to alpha lock as well so that I don't forget later. And now let us start coloring. So let's go to round eraser because it is bigger. And now let's start coloring. So this part, the black part, yeah, we're using the black layer. Let me bring the brightness up a bit. Okay. So this is facing up, so we're going to use this color. I'm going to color pick that, and then color this layer like that. Next is, this is facing to the right. So facing to the right is this color, or this one. Let's color pick that, and let's color. And then this is facing down, which is the darkest color, this one. And then facing left, it's this color. Right there. Let's continue with this side. So this is facing left, so we're going to use the same color, which is this one. Let's color this entire side. And then the darkest color for this face. And then to the right, which is this color. Oops, this color. We're done coloring the black layer. Now let's color the yellow layer. So let's just select that. Now let's start here. Below the facing up is the darkest color facing down. So let's color this entirely like that. And then this part is facing left, so it's this color. Let's add a second color. Facing up, so it's this color. Then facing right here at the end. There. Let's continue with this. So this one is facing right. We already have the color selected. We're going to color this entire thing. And then next is facing up, which is this color. And then facing left, this color. And we are done coloring the beveled faces. Next step, step number 8, is to color the background and the 3D effect. So it's this layer. Let's turn on alpha lock. Let's select the darkest red, and then let's choose a darker color for a 3D effect. Maybe this will do. And then let's fill that layer. Okay. We've colored the 3D effect, but let us add some shadows and highlights to it as well to make it more realistic. So on a new layer above it, we are going to put on clipping mask or turn on clipping mask, and then we are going to pick the color white and eraser. Let us now color the highlight section. Okay. So for all 3D effect that's facing to the right, we're gonna highlight them like this and leave the faces facing down in a dark color. Oh, they're supposed to be colored. Let me lighten this a bit so that you can see the difference. Okay. Let me switch to maybe overlay. Let's now hide the guides. Okay. So we now have our 3D effect colored as well. Next step is we're going to blend it because these parts are curved, so we have to blend those two colors. We're going to use the smudge tool with the smooth blender on, and then just smudge it like this. It's easy, just smudge it like this. All right, we're done. Let's also smudge the beveled face. So let's select those layers again, and then just start blending. Switch to the other beveled layer and blend that as well. let's turn on the inline. Okay, let's bring the opacity of the inline a bit lower, like that. Perfect. Kind of want to make the 3D effect a bit darker, so let's adjust the hue, saturation, and brightness of it. I think this will do. Okay, for this one, let's clean this layer a bit. So select that, and using 2 fingers, let us hold the 3D effect, invert, and 3-finger circular motion to clear it. Okay. So now we have something really, really clean. So let us clipping mask everything on top of that layer. Okay. Let's hide this because we don't need this color guide anymore. So the next step is step number 9. We're going to add green and texture. So let's open up a new layer just below the inline with white as the selected color. At the bottom of the Bevel Tools brush set, you have greens. So just select one and then add greens to your lettering. So here I am choosing to add it to the entire letter, but you could add it to specific parts if you want that style. So since it is too strong, let us change the overlay and bring the opacity down to maybe about 50%. Okay, you can still see the grains when you zoom it in. And now let's add some textures. So we are going to select the color black, and then on a new layer above the inline, let us choose our texture. Let's use the same texture and then color our entire canvas. There. And then let's reduce the opacity. Maybe select multiply as a blending mode. About 40%. Okay. Not sure if you could see it on the camera. Let me zoom it in for you. As you can see, there is a little bit of texture there. And we are done. Thank you so much for reaching the end of the video. I hope you were able to create a beautiful beveled letter C. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. The brushes we use are from this brush pack, the Bevel Letters Procreate brushes and stamps. I'll leave more details in the description. Like and subscribe for more tutorial videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.